Welcome to tip number 6 in the mod movement. So this one I'm going to call baby steps. And if you've ever seen that movie, What About Bob, which is a kind of a classic, especially for the older generation, there's this whole concept of baby steps. And Bob is kind of a mental health patient of a psychiatrist, and he just struggles with everything. He's got all these fears, and he does all these kind of weird, quirky things, and he gets shut down really easy. And anyways, by his fear, but his therapist tells him to basically do baby steps, baby step to this, baby step. Anyways, the whole movie is really quite funny, but there's a true concept in there about baby stepping. So one of the extremes that we can fall into is being overwhelmed by our life, so much so that it shuts us down. Like if there's just too much, it's like our circuits overload and we just shut down. So one is being overwhelmed, too overwhelmed to do anything. It's like it's just so monumental, so big that it probably stops you in your tracks. But the other one is to, I have to do it all at once. Like if I'm going to make a change, I have to do every single piece of it, or I'm not going to do it. And that can be very unhealthy. You can even feel the unhealthiness of it when I say it. And it's an easy one to fall into. I remember one time I walked into, extremes have a certain energy about them. The hyperactivity, there's a hyperactivity version of an extreme, and then there's a hypoactivity, like hypoactive. I don't know how to say that. I'm making up a word. Hypoactivity version, which is not. So there's hyperactivity, and then there's hypo. And one is like none, and the other one is like super intense. So one time I was like making a return in Sam's Club, and they had an add-on for some sort of like physical training. It was like an exercise class. And I was, just because I was sitting there waiting in line, your eyes wander to movement. And so I'm watching this ad, and this was such an example of extremism. I was like so bold in your face. It made me sick actually to my stomach to watch it. The guy that was leading this class, he was so like, I don't even know how to explain it. There was no peace there. Like it was so physically like intense, but also just his countenance, the energy he was putting out was so unhealthy. It was so extreme and so unhealthy. I mean, the guy looked sickly to me. He had kind of a grayish pallor to him. His energy that he was putting out was so extreme, so unhealthy. And it was such a turnoff to me. And I was like, wow, no, thank you. So it kind of has that I have to do it all at once feeling. And the reason why it's such a turnoff to me is because I've been in it before. I know that energy because I've lived it. And the other one is being so overwhelmed that it shuts you down. And I've also been in that one, and that one also bothers me. I don't like that energy either. And the way that you get out of either one of those is baby steps. So the baby step could be for the person who's super hyper, I have to do it all at once, or I'm not going to do it. It's like, force yourself to do it in baby steps. Like choose, I'm only going to do this piece, and I'm going to work on this. And once I get good at that, then I'll add another piece to that. And it's basically taking it in chunks. It helps you stay more balanced. And then maybe you're the person who's like, I'm so overwhelmed, I'm completely shut down, I can't do anything. Then give yourself permission to do baby steps. And maybe for you, your baby steps will be they won't seem very monumental, but they will be just enough. There's something. Like maybe your baby step is today, I'm going to brush my teeth. I'm going to get up off the couch and I'm going to brush my teeth. Maybe that's your baby step right now. For the next week, I'm going to brush my teeth every morning, no matter how I'm feeling. Or maybe your baby step is I'm going to force myself to smile every day 5 times today. So I don't know what your baby steps will be, but you figure those out and make them SMART goals. Remember our tip for SMART goals, tip number, I believe that was 4, is set SMART goals. So in these baby steps, set these little SMART goals that will help you start moving yourself, whether that's out of the extreme of overdoing, I have to do it all, or out of the extreme of I'm so overwhelmed, I'm completely shut down. So set realistic goals for yourself that you can attain to. So Let's see, I just want to make sure I caught all the stuff I wanted to share with that. But yeah, I think that's it. Just try to do that, and I think you'll be amazed at what that does for you.